This year, I ended a relationship and cut off an engagement from a great man. He was a good man. He loved God. He was a praying man. He loved and adored me. He was there for me. He was handsome. He was well educated. He didn't have any kids. He checked all the boxes. But there was still something missing. And I just knew that I could not go through with this marriage. There was just something that did not connect. I felt that there was should have been a connection between he and I in order for me to be his wife. And so I cut off the engagement. And it was so difficult because he was a good man.
Welcome to the S.Banks and the JD Network podcast. I'm your host, S.Banks, and I'm joined by my co-host,
JD.
What are we talking about today?
Modern women will leave 95% of men for this reason.
Imagine that. Imagine that. We
It's a
have
lot,
three
innit?
clips. We have three clips for you today. I'm going to waste no time. Let's find out the reason why they will leave. And you know, you got dudes on the edge of their seat. What's the reason? I'm playing. But here's clip number one.
Earlier this year, I ended a relationship and cut off an engagement from a great man. He was a good man. He loved God. He was a praying man. He loved and adored me. He was there for me. He was handsome. He was well educated. He didn't have any kids. He checked all the boxes. But there was still something missing. And I just knew that I could not go through with this marriage. There was just something that did not connect. I felt that there was should have been a connection between he and I in order for me to be his wife. And so I cut off the engagement. And it was so difficult because he was a good man. It's easy when a person is not good. You can justify why you cut things off, but when a person is truly a good person, it's hard to explain. So I found myself trying to explain it to family and friends, and they were asking me a whole bunch of questions that, I could not say, exactly why, other than the fact that I just did not feel the connection. There was something that was not there that I needed to be there in order for this to be my husband. And so I stopped trying to explain it and I just trusted my decision and I went on. But then I got an epiphany and it was just like, have you ever been shoe shopping and you saw a nice pair of shoes and it's like, ooh, I love the color. I love the style. The heel is the right size and it's a reasonable price. Like it's on sale and it's a good shoe. But then when you approach the shoe, you see that it's a size 6 and you need a size 7. Does it take away from the fact that the shoe is a good shoe? Does it take away from the fact that you're getting a great deal for the quality? Does it take away from the fact that the heel is still the right size? It doesn't matter. All of that still makes the shoe is still good. But if it's not your size,
Wow.
But if it's not your size,
She tried to drop an
joke.
analogy.
Yeah, or I don't know what she was trying to do, but that was terrible.
Okay, so this is what I took from that. I heard her loud and clear. So, in other words, the guy that she was engaged to didn't get the coochie splishy, splashy wet. She wasn't attracted to him.
There was no fountain, yeah.
So, no. And later on, he's gonna be worthy. Just now, because she thinks she's got options. Because a lot of women believe I have options based on the guys that are hollering, sliding up in my DMs, all of that ish, right? But for now, what we're seeing is that he ticked every single box according to her. This is not according to me. This is according to her, but he wasn't good enough. Sometimes men are looking at this and saying, you just can't win.
No, literally.
I want to say something more, but I'll let you chime in.
I will say this. She found a man that ticked all of the boxes apart from one. She won
What was the box? What didn't he pick? What didn't he untick? Sorry.
because
Some
there was
bullshit.
no connection. It was BS.
So some facade.
Because there was in her brain, no connection.
So she made up a something to disqualify him. Okay. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
She won, and now she's fumbled that bag because she dashed him away. I have a question. Why do lots of women think that the grass is greener on the other side. You think you're young and you still got it. You got guys in your DMs, however they're getting in contact with you, and you think you're the ish, right? When you've already got a guy right there with you that you say, that you claim is pretty much perfect, right? Because you didn't have no complaint apart from the connection part. So he's pretty much perfect.
Basically, he wasn't the bad boy.
Exactly. I was going to
Okay.
get into that.
Yeah, go on.
But you will say, oh, this guy is such and such. Let me look at my options over here because I think I've got so many options.
It's only one type of guy that she wanted. Now,
A bad
this leads
boy.
me to
Pookie.
one of my points, right? Some women being in toxic relationships so long, they don't know how to live outside of those relationships. They don't, whether that be romantic or just normal cordial relationships. They deal with those kind of men. So when you're dealing with a man that has substance and quality, he demands more. He requires more of her. She doesn't qualify. So if anything, she believed that she pushed him to the side. He didn't lose. She did. She just doesn't realize that yet.
She done him a favor.
Yeah.
I tell you that for free. First of all, what is going on with that hair? I'm so sorry.
I thought the same thing, but
I'm not-
I didn't want to say nothing because I didn't want to attack her personally. Want to use her as a template,
I
but
have to mention, like, why was... I'm not saying some people can have bad hair days. I get it. I'm sure in a couple of in these videos, I know saying my hair wasn't on
the
point.
thing right on point now.
I can admit that. Okay. We do a lot of videos and sometimes you have to rush. Okay. I'm just saying the hair was it was throwing me off. I couldn't
weren't
even,
voguing.
I couldn't even think.
There was
properly.
no Vogue, no? You
No,
were.
it wasn't happening. But the fact that she is disqualifying this guy that is almost perfect in her eyes, and then you want to do a video of a fringe like that. Anyway, okay, let's stop talking about the hair. I'm just saying, I think personally, like you said, she's used to toxic relationships. I think she's used to pookies and ray-rays, and he wasn't cutting it because he didn't get the coochie wet, like what you already said earlier. And for me, I think that she has basically, well, she's obviously lost that guy, so she's fumbled the bag. Later on in life, she's going to regret that and say, oh, I had a good man. And we actually done a podcast before on another woman fumbling the bag. Hopefully,
Oh yeah, we've done that.
we can tag that so you can watch a bit of that. But yeah, there's so many women that actually do it. That's the thing. You disqualify this good man. He's done nothing wrong. You described him to a pair of shoes, a size 6 and a size 7.
Analogy, did it even
Terrible.
make sense? Do you know what, right? I think she'd have got more respect if she just kept it 100. But she had to somehow find a way to justify her disqualifying this dude, right?
She couldn't think of anything though. That's why her family and friends questioned her. This man is good. You won. You're lucky because not a lot of women even get the opportunity to find good men, right? That's because they choose bad men, by the way. But I'm just saying, her family's questioning her. I'm sure lots of people in the comment section is like, wow, really? For that? You like bad boys.
I think she done a video, follow-up video, talking about, you know what, like it wasn't that, and trying to provide more context, but it is what it is. And I think this, right? A lot of women today, they thrive off of struggle love, right? Because when that real dude comes along, he requires more of them, right? And they don't qualify, they don't have that more to give back, right? Because that dude is coming with system, order, and structure. She don't know how to be feminine. She, like, the man's gonna lead. If you're in it, speaking from a traditional perspective, the man's gonna lead, and he might be a great leader, but she's a bad follower, because there is that, right? So then that guy of quality, of substance, comes with system, order, and structure. And saying that segues me into this point, right? See, because all women, black women particularly, they are leaving relationships quicker than they're getting in them. They're divorcing quicker than any other woman, saying there's no decent men. You know, you got women, the Oprahs, the Sally Jesse, the Ricky Lakes, all of those women in the past selling the dream that there's no decent black men if he's not like most of them's gay or they're in prison
I thought they're
or
all single.
or they're deadbeat. I'm just saying what they do, right? So then women have been sold that dream. We now know, because obviously there's more male spaces that speak on behalf of men now, because women been having their platforms for how many years from the 90s, you know, saying that there's no decent this, no decent that. Now we're seeing data stats and men are having a voice. You know, the channels like this, men are having a voice saying, nah, this is the real stats. This is what's really going on. And the killer to it is this. Don't take my word for it. She just told you herself.
Exactly.
So you're getting a lot of women now
Look in front of you.
saying it right to you.
They're putting it on video. How do you not see it? How
Exactly.
can you not
But
see what's going on?
I'm saying all women. Now, I think all women, if we talk about all women like that they have a louder voice than the decent women. This is my thing. So then the stereotype of what people think of black women when they hear women like this, they just don't take you seriously.
I know.
They just don't take you seriously. The
us look
stereotype.
bad.
So then say the mainstream media and the powers that be push out a narrative of how they want the world to see black women. Those women there are louder than the decent women. So this is what the world thinks of you. Hence why they won't take you seriously.
Yep.
Because come on, you disqualifying. I'm not saying now make no mistake. I'm not saying to you this is just a black thing. White women do it too. Asian women do it too. They all do it. But I'm just saying the magnifying glass is on you.
Yeah.
Come on. If she took accountability, that's why I said, if she just kept it 100
Yeah.
and said, you know what? He just didn't get the coochie wet. And for me, a big part, I have to be attracted to the guy. I have to be, you know, sexually attracted to him for me to go the distance. Even if we all thought, nah, there's more to life than that. I would have respected your honesty.
Yeah. I think there's a scenario. I think she possibly, let me go back a little bit. When I mentioned that a lot of women like to explore their options, sometimes they think that the grass is greener on the other side. I think a possibility is that she started talking to Apuki and Ray Ray, and she found someone else who was more to her liking because she's used to a certain way of life.
Yeah.
And that's why she couldn't give a reason to why she's breaking it up with him.
Or that's what she's used to. Struggle love.
Yeah, but I think women that do that and have that struggle love, do they tend to really leave the guy? They like the struggle
love. I think
love.
you're doing this. I think you're personalize it to what you think, but I'm saying based on experience.
It's asking a question.
Okay, and people answer that. What do you guys think? But what I'm saying is I think that she's used to struggle love, honestly. I know the signs. I know that's why I got what she was saying.
But I'm
what she really
asking
meant.
you too.
What's
So
the question?
in regards to struggle love, if a woman gets with a guy and they're struggling in their love, wouldn't
bond and all that.
Wouldn't she stay with him? Would she leave him?
No,
she likes the struggle love.
Because if you're in toxicity so long, this becomes normal to you. So then when you meet a guy that can pull you out of that, sometimes that world is normal to you. And when he's pulling you out, because I think even said in the Bible, right? Men save women from themselves, right? So then if that dude of quality and substance comes along and says, take my hand, I'm going to save you. Sometimes our women don't know how to be vulnerable. They're masculine, a lot of them, right? So then they don't know how to be feminine. They don't know how to be fit. So if he says, take my hand, he can't pull up her weight anyway because they're not being fit. They're not going to the gym. So if you're not taking care of yourself, then why would a man want to take care of you, right? On top of that, if you're masculine men don't want masculine women, right? So then there's a lot of damage that he has to deal with. But sometimes a lot of our men are willing, and I'd say the more my generation and the older generation was willing to deal with that. But now it's gone overboard and it's ridiculous at the point, so we have to walk away. That's why you got movements like the Passport Brothers that say, you know what, I can't do this anymore. This is why you're seeing so many new male space channels pop up, because this is what the thing is. Now, again, I'll say, I'm not saying to you that this is just a black woman problem. This happens in the white community. Every other community happens in. But I'm just saying the magnifying glass is on you.
Yeah.
But guys, That's some of my thoughts. Put in the comments, what do you guys think? Anyways, let's move along. Here's clip number 2.
As a woman, dealing with a man who knows his worth is literally like the most like humbling experience ever, because he will literally cut your ass off. Like, he didn't let you slide on a couple of crazy things, but like that final one, your ass is cut. And that shit is so heartbreaking, because it's like when a nigga mess up, you like, boy, you will never hit this again. But when you mess up, and you really gotta accept the fact that you messed up and that you will never hit that again, that is very humbling, okay? It's very heartbreaking. It's something very hard to come to terms with. Like, wait, I messed that up? Oh no. The accountability really starts to kick in, and it feels a lot like shame. But they always come back, so just make sure your next time you don't act crazy, okay? Because I'm not gonna act crazy.
Okay, that's the end of that clip, right? The first thing that comes to my mind is this. I was talking to a couple of my friends earlier, and they said a similar thing that this woman was saying. They were my friends were complaining about it, by the way. Then one of my friends said this. They said, is this a problem that only black men face? Because I don't think, say for example, if it's, do black women give other races the same degree of BS? And I was like, I don't think so. Even if they play the chameleon, they are a bit more submissive to other cultures, right? But that's what came to my mind straight away, right? And second to that is this. I think men are waking up today and saying, do you know what? I'm not taking this BS. I don't have to take this. Again, that's why you got movements like the Passport Brothers. You got all these MGTOW movements. You got all these red pill people saying, nah, I've been finessed one too many times. I've been cheated on one too many times. I don't have to deal with this bad behavior. I can go elsewhere where I'm appreciated and celebrated. I say this, black man, save yourself. Like, you have to save yourself. Like, men, save yourself. What do you think?
Well, yeah, you should think about yourself first. I don't think anyone should have to put up with BS. We're talking about women to men, so fellas, I don't think you should put up with BS. She's talking about a man who knows his worth.
Yeah.
So, yes, if a man values himself, then he won't take women's rubbish. It's like,
You want to take the BS?
do you know like who I am, sort of thing?
Yeah.
It's like, nah, I ain't taking. Why am I gonna waste my time with you when I can find a better woman? I know my self-worth. I know I deserve better. Why am I gonna sit here and listen to your BS or deal with your BS when I don't have to? Why would he do that?
That's
Man
true.
that has sense in his head, a man that knows his worth, he would typically cut you off immediately.
Yeah.
There's only so much BS he'll deal with. Now, obviously, if any,
Yeah.
I was going to say this though. A lot of men, they know that women give S tests.
Yeah.
Right? We need to, lower the swearing. So, they know that that's what women do, right? So then, I don't think we don't do it on some women do it on purpose, but I think we just naturally just test to
do
see
it by
if
nature, testing the guy's strength. We
if
get
you're
it, we get
still
it.
strong,
Female nature.
So I think men will deal with that side of things as long as it's not too bad and you don't do it often. Then I think men will kind of be like, okay, whatever.
If they do it often,
She's going through her moment.
no, but if they do it often, then a woman doesn't respect that guy.
No, so that's the part where he'll cut you off immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, I ain't putting up with this.
I don't have to. I got options.
Exactly. Now, if she does it every couple of months or whatever, and then it's not too bad,
Check, please.
and then it's like, all right, cool. She's going through her moment or whatever. It's like, all right, cool. Yeah, whatever. You're testing me. Okay, cool. Then I guess it's not too bad, and he wouldn't really typically leave like that. But I think women that's got a mouth on her and does stupidness, and and it's annoying and all the time.
Okay, but this is what I think, right? I think most chicks are used to dealing with certain
Idiots.
kind of men. So then what they do is they paint all men with the same brush. So then when a dude that has quality and substance comes along, she doesn't know how to act because she thinks he's just like the other dudes.
I think that's what she was doing.
And then most of the, yes, exactly. Then most of the time, she messes up because she don't know how to act. And then she realizes, hold on a second, because for some reason, he stands out. Because if 80% of men, 80% of men are invisible to women, there's some type of glitch or something wrong with a lot of them, right? So then when you find most women want top tier men, socially understands the game, I could reel off the list, can't be bothered, right? But then when that guy of substance and quality comes to her, she acts out, she realizes after all my days,
Yeah.
I just fumbled the bag.
Yes.
I think that happens loads of times.
It does. I think she was in that same situation to where she's used to certain guys. She found a guy that is a better quality guy, and she realized that, oh, he doesn't take my BS. Oh, he's actually a decent guy. What do I do? Oh my gosh. She said she was acting crazy, right? So then she's like, okay, I won't be crazy this time round. But the thing I disagree with her is she said something along the lines of this. Don't quote me word for word. But she's saying that they'll always come back. No, they won't.
You're right.
No, they won't.
But okay, if he knows his worth, why would he come back?
Exactly.
He's got options. I've already trialed and errored you. You failed the trial test. I don't want to renew my subscription. I'm done.
That's what I'm trying
That's
to
what
say.
that guy's
So
thinking.
that's where it left me with, I don't know what sort of guy she's talking about. Because a guy with value, he ain't doing that.
But that's why I said to
You
you.
fumbled that bag.
That's what I said to you. They're used to dealing with certain kinds of men.
That's what I'm trying to say also. So she's found a guy that's different to what she's used to. That's why she continued with her dramatic self. But she realized, oh, I can't do this with this guy. That's why she said, oh, I need to take some form of accountability and whatever else she said. Not that women like to take accountability because they don't.
Kryptonite. Kryptonite.
Yeah, right. But some women do. But she clearly doesn't.
Well,
but she realized that, oh, okay, he's different. And she done something wrong.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, cool.
But she still believes. She puts the facade up and goes, oh, he'll come back because I'm that dope. So then a lot of women
She's
are
referring
delusional.
to Coochie.
No, but exactly. Outside of Coochie, they have nothing to offer. But a lot of women are poor pickers in men. You know, they're not submissive. They're not feminine. They don't have the facilities and the tools in order to retain the guy long term. And last thing I'll say on this video is this. A cat has 9 lives, right? So then how many times do women think that they're going to meet a viable man? Most women's luck will run out. So then if you're younger, there's more options. But then even when you're younger, how much chances of decent men that suit well with you that you're going to find throughout the duration of your dating life?
See, I think there is a decent guy that is for you. You've met him in your lifetime. But a lot of women fumble that because maybe at that time it's like, I'm hot, I'm springy.
But they're disqualifying for some BS reason, just like the woman in the previous.
Yeah. Some of them don't realize that that was your guy. I would say younger women will typically more be naive and not understand life properly and what sort of guy they even supposed to have. So then they'll do stupid stuff or just, oh, he's a nerd or whatever.
If they had better teachers, role models, if they had better men around them, if they had a great teacher or women that would show them this is what to do as a woman, this is what to do for your man. Women keep families together. If they had great counsel, then they wouldn't be in those predicaments.
I would say that it would work out for more women, yes. More women will have husbands now, but
they don't know husband.
They would have more husbands
Being married is not a thing now.
I know, but I'm just saying, if they was brought up how you
Correctly.
just said, then there'll be more husbands.
Yeah.
Because you're a decent woman. So then why wouldn't he marry you? So I'm just saying that a lot of women are not like that nowadays. They fumble the bag. They meet their actual mate, but then they'll say, oh, here's a nerd and his blah, 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 and not realize that's who you're supposed to be with.
So in other words,
and then they realize that when they get older, it's like, oh,
so
they'll always remember that
in
guy.
In other words, they're delusional. They are the table. I'm the
No,
table.
they're not the table.
I'm this. It's me.
Okay.
Anyways, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Here's clip number 3.
Here are some of the top mistakes that women make in marriage. Number 1, putting your kids first before your spouse. You married your spouse, so put him first. Doesn't mean you have to neglect your kids at all. Number 2 is not setting boundaries. We need to set boundaries, and we need to learn as women how to say no to things so we have more time and energy for our spouse. Number 3 is trying to change your husband. You married him for who he is, so don't try to change him. Love him for exactly who he is. Number 4, not wanting physical or sexual intimacy. Our men, our husbands need it. They were designed to need it. They love making love to you. Number 5 is not taking care of yourself. We all need to take care of ourselves. We want our husbands to also. Number 6 is focusing on the negative things that he does. Try focusing on only the positive things. Your marriage will be way more happier. The next one is not being direct and clear with your feelings. Most men would love to help you or do things for you, but you just have to tell them exactly what you want. The next one is comparing yourself to others, your marriage, your relationships, your life. The grass is not greener on the other side all the time. So stop comparing and look for the positives in your marriage once again. The last one is involving friends or family in your relationship. There are boundaries in all things. I missed one. Overscheduling. Us women are so good at overscheduling our lives. That is a huge intimacy killer. So say no.
Okay, that's the end of that clip. Which of those marriage and relationship tips stood out to you the most? That question's to you, but people, what's your thoughts? Which one of those marriage tips or relationship tips stood out to you the most? Put your thoughts in the comments below. So that question, I extend that to you.
I'm gonna say there's a few, but let's start with this one. The reason why I'm starting with this one is because a lot of women do this.
Okay.
That is involving friends and family in your relationship.
That's one of my notes. Keep your business private and behind closed doors.
Yes.
Oh yeah, go on.
A lot of women do this. Some men do it also, but majority of women do it.
We know chicks do that.
You involve your family and friends in your business, right? That's supposed to be behind closed doors. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get advice from people in a situation.
But that means you got to tell your personal story.
Yes, I don't advise that. I'm just saying, I don't know, somehow not say it's you. Okay.
I got a friend and
okay,
they're going through this problem.
That's still a no. let me change my. Sometimes you do need to talk to somebody, maybe a counselor, but you shouldn't. I don't think you should talk to family and friends about proper personal things.
Let me say this, right? So sometimes we bring our relationship out to the public and then we speak to family and we go, oh, for example, men and women do it. So the dude would be like, oh, my girlfriend has done blah, blah, blah. He tells it to his mom or his sister. Now his mom or his sister got some issues with his chick,
like her now,
with his wife, right? So then now they're acting all funny, even though him and his wife have hashed it out.
Yeah.
The mother and sister ain't hashed it out. So again, don't do that.
Yeah.
Because it don't work out for you. It don't work out in your best interest. So I hear you on that.
Yeah. It causes problems. Yeah. And you gave the perfect example. It causes problems with the outside people. Yeah. Like you said.
And it's not sacred. Your relationship no longer is sacred because it's meant to be you two and not you two and the world.
I would say communication and it should help.
Paramount.
Another thing I would say is setting boundaries. Okay. So I would say
don't cheat. unless we speak about it. No, this is true though. Commit no.
Start again.
So don't cheat unless we speak about it. So the
Okay.
boundary is this. So I got to use the over the top boundary, right? So then I'm giving an example. So if you're in a relationship and the man's gonna step out, it's better the woman says, here's some boundaries. If you're gonna step out, make sure there's no outside babies, make sure there's no STDs, and there's no public embarrassment. So that those are my boundaries. Don't sleep with more than 2 chicks or whatever. Or some women might say, I don't give brains. So then you can only get brains from this woman. If you and your man agree to that, then it's all good. So that's some form of boundaries.
Or
That's the extreme case though. Yeah.
Don't cheat. That's my boundary.
Yeah. But that's my
So-
point. But then okay, that may be the case for some.
Yeah.
That's
Some.
for some. I'm just,
Majority.
I just gave the extreme case. God, anyway.
I wasn't even thinking about that, to be honest. No, when I was
know you
thinking
were.
about setting boundaries, I wasn't thinking about cheating. But I wasn't thinking about cheating. I was thinking more on the lines of women are very social. So we tend to go out a lot and not like, I mean, clubbing all the time and stuff. Some women do that, yes. But I mean, as in you say you meet up with friends and family, whatever, do things and blah, 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 blah. And sometimes that can be an issue in your marriage because you're spending too much time outside and not enough time inside.
Okay.
So I think there needs to be
So sharing your friends or equaling your friends to your husband kind of thing.
you shouldn't do that.
Okay.
Your friends and your husband are not on the same level, ladies.
They're not the same.
Your husband's up here, your friends are way down there. That's how it should be.
Pick me.
Okay. Anyway, don't listen to me. It's your life.
Exactly.
Anyway, I was just saying, I think some women spend too much time outside and not at home where your husband is.
Okay.
So that can, start to divide both of you and can possibly bring problems to your marriage.
Yeah, because your husband would be in competition with your friends, or let's call it the outsiders. But let me ask this as well. Why do so many couples compare their relationship to Instagram reels? So, on social media, people always project the perfect relationship, but behind closed doors,
That's not
that's
how
not
it
the
is.
case. But then you have a lot of people that say, oh, I want the Beyonce and Jay-Z relationship. I want the Ciara and Russell Wilson relationship. But you don't know what's happening behind closed doors. You just see the happy days. You don't know when the mountain. You don't know what they had to climb. But then a lot of people say, if I'm not having that, because I remember once upon a time, people said, raw, I want that Jada Pinkett and Will Smith love.
Yeah, not anymore, right?
But then entanglements, all the other BS are involved in that. So then if you're looking from the outside and then you look in, you're seeing that raw, like this is not what I signed up for. But a lot of people compare their relationship to other people on social media is not real.
I know.
It's not real. It's a simulation. It's a joke thing. It's just people trying to portray their best life, or shall I say, their best lie. That's what I think.
True that. Another thing
Yeah.
she said is trying to change your husband. Now, I think a lot of women try to do this. Now, if you're married or not, a lot of women like to change their other half.
Yeah.
So, like the woman said, you met your man like how he is. You met him that way. So why are you trying to change him? That's how you met him.
Because
so
she's testing him.
you okay,
He was just weak and he folded.
That's an option.
He was weak and he folded. That was an ish test.
Not every man folds. I'm just saying, but it doesn't stop the woman from trying.
Yeah.
Some men fold.
And then there's some dudes that don't fold. And because he doesn't fold, the woman saying, I can't deal with this. I'm going to find a weaker dude. And then go for the weaker dude. And then want to revert back to the old dude.
She wasn't
because he
for
held
you.
frame.
She wasn't for you if that's the case.
Just saying.
If she leaves you for a next man because you don't, because you hold frame, she was never for you anyway. She done you a favor. Go find yourself a better woman. I'm just saying, a lot of women do try to change their men. Stop trying to change your men. Whatever he did in the beginning that attracted you, why are you trying to change him into something else? You was attracted with how he was when you initially met him. Stop trying to change him. It's not gonna work out for you.
Yeah, well, again, like men have foresight, women have insight. So in their brain, they believe the grass is greener. If I change him, he's going to be the perfect guy that I want. Not realizing that's you got with that guy in the first place for a reason.
That segues into what one was it again? Sorry, give me a second. Don't focus on negative things he does. It segues into that one because
Yeah.
if you met him a certain way and you're trying to change him to more your liking, so the other things that he does that's not your liking, well, that's negative then, isn't it? It's not something that you like. Excuse me. How about you focus on what you do like about him instead of focusing on negative things? Shouldn't do that.
I think a lot of the advice said in that clip will save a lot of relationships if people take on board some of the things said.
Get your notepad and your pen, ladies, and write it down.
But what I'll say is that the so-called pick-me's seem to be winning. The so-called pick-me's are winning. So women are saying, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to share myself to the world. I'm going to do all those. I'm going to go against the grain. I ain't listening to none of this.
You don't have to.
I want to do when I want to do it.
Do what you want to do when you want to do it.
The pick-me's seem to be winning.
The plain Janes.
They seem to have a blueprint that is successful. That's what I think. Do you want to add anything more?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't forget to subscribe and press that notification bell so you always know when we post. We post daily, by the way, sorry. We post daily, so always look out for one of our videos every single day. And also, we've joined Rumble, so go onto Rumble and make sure you subscribe there too.
Okay, you've heard her. It was a good conversation.
It was.
See you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.